Good morning to everyone. Hopefully, all of you are keeping fine. Now, you know, the whole world is going through a tremendous crisis, and we in Narendrapur we are also suffering from the same problems. But ours is an educational center. Just education cannot stop, studies cannot stop. So we should be thankful to our school that our school has arranged special classes for you. Now let's start with Tom loses a tooth. For class 9 boys, Tom loses a tooth. Third monthly syllabus. We will straightway start with the third monthly syllabus. Tom loses a tooth. Listen to me carefully first. Then we will read the text between the lines, and after that we will write the questions. Okay. You will have to write the answers on your own. I shall give you some help. Now, this is a wonderful novel written by Mark Twain. Mark Twain, this is the pseudonym of Samuel Langhorne Clemens. Mark Twain, Tom Loses a Tooth. The name of the original book was The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, a wonderful juvenile literature, a wonderful book written for children. From here it has been extracted. Now, let me tell you the story in a nutshell first, then you will go through the text. Tom, like many other children, was a very naughty kid. He always wanted to stay away from school and at home. He wanted to go fishing, but he used to live with his aunt and his brother and cousin. Now, his aunt Polly, whose name was Aunt Polly, she was a typical formidable personality, you can understand. She loves Tom from the bottom of her heart, but at the same time, she is quite a very stern personality, who cannot be easily managed. So Tom always found up an excuse. He always wanted to find one alibi, one excuse or other, so that he might be spared from going to school. He would be allowed to stay back at home. And that is why every Monday morning, because the Monday is the beginning of the week, the working week, and so every Monday morning Tom would find himself miserable, because Monday means again beginning of the school, and he will have a slow suffering in school. So he early in the morning at about dawn, he lay thinking in bed. What could be done? How he would be able to give a convincing excuse to his aunt, so that the aunt would allow him to stay back at home. And the most important thing that occurred to his mind, that is physical unfitness. If he would be somehow able to impress upon his aunt that he was not physically fit to take to school, then obviously aunt would feel sympathetic towards him, and then she would allow him to stay back at home. Now, where could be that probable ailment? Where could be that probable disease? And he wanted to find out his whole body. The first thing that occurred to his mind was a stomachache. Because this is a very common excuse of feeling unfit, physical unfitness, stomachache. And he felt that he had got some stomachache indeed. And because it cannot be seen from outside, that's why stomachache is a common excuse for children to stay away from school, stay back at home. And what he really began to feel was that there was some genuine stomachache inside him. Might be that some genuine stomachache, and he also found that there are the symptoms of stomachache. But presently, the symptoms vanished. As they came, they vanished as well. And he began to think further and further. And suddenly he discovered something. One of the upper front teeth was loose. One of the upper front teeth of his upper jaw was loose. And he thought that, well, if he would be able to tell that there was a tremendous pain in the loose tooth, obviously Aunt Polly would feel sympathetic, and she might allow him to stay back at home. So with that idea, she was thinking that she might try to impress upon Aunt Polly that he was physically unfit because he had some loose tooth. Then again, another fear came at the back of his mind. If Aunt Polly would come to know that he had a loose tooth, then obviously she would try to remedy it. And how would she remedy it? She would definitely pull it out. If she would pull it out, that would give tremendous pain to him. No, that's not a good thing. Of course, I don't want to suffer from pain. So Tom further lay thinking. And then suddenly, one idea occurred to him. A faint memory occurred to his mind. Somewhere, sometime earlier, he had heard that there is a kind of disease, a very dangerous disease, which keeps one lying in bed for 2 to 3 days. And then at the end of the day, at the end of that period, one will have to lose a finger or that. And that is a very dangerous disease. Children, let me tell you also in this context, this is a very dangerous disease. Probably the name of the disease is gangrene. Whenever you get some kind of trauma, if you get hurt, কোথাও যদি একটা জোরে হঠাৎ করে আঘাত লেগে যায়, then suddenly it happened that the nerves of that particular part of the body might get damaged. And you know, nerve cell is the only cell which can neither be produced nor destroyed. It can be destroyed, it cannot be produced. It remains intact from birth to death. So if there is any genuine trouble with the nervous system of the body, then it's a very serious ailment. And you know, a lot of accidents take place when the gangrene happened. And so Tom lay thinking, and then he wanted to see whether he had that kind of disease. He had heard a doctor say this, that there is a dangerous kind of ailment, there is a dangerous kind of disease when someone has to be in bed for 2 to 3 days, and then after that he will have to again lose a finger. So with that hope, Tom brought out his leg from under the bed sheet and he began to find it, and fortunately he thought that he had found one. His toe had a swelling, a sore toe, and that was a genuine chance for him to impress upon Aunt Polly. And do you know what he began to do? Then he began to groan in pain, oh, ouch, like this. And he had an idea that his brother Sid, who was sleeping beside him, he would wake up by hearing that groaning sound, and then he would go to call Aunt Polly, and Aunt Polly would come, and then he would be able to impress upon her that he was in a genuine trouble, so he must be allowed to stay back home. But Sid had no idea about what was happening with Tom, so he was sleeping. He was snoring. Tom began to groan for quite some time. Now after some time, his tone began to have some genuineness. He began to grow genuinely, groan in a genuine manner. And then when she did not wake up, he woke him up. He just woke him up, and Sid woke up, and he was shocked to see that Tom was suffering from so much pain. And he said, well, what happened, Tom? What happened? Why didn't you wake me up earlier? Oh, I'm dying. Dying? Is it? No, you are not going to die. What happened? What's wrong with you? Oh, Sid, please tell them I have forgiven everyone. You know what happens whenever someone is going to die, he feels that he is beyond all kind of ill feeling. And so with whoever he had got some bad blood, some bad feeling, quarrelsome relationship, then he says that I want to forgive you. Here also, perhaps Tom had heard from some older persons in that situation, and so he said, please tell them I have forgiven everyone. Oh Tom, you are not going to die. Please tell me what happened. Like this. I must go and call Aunt Polly. So Tom ran downstairs. Sid ran downstairs. Tom actually wanted Sid to go and call Aunt Polly, but apparently he said, no, you need not go there, you need not worry about it. It will be okay by the by, like this. But when Sid went to Aunt Polly and said, Aunt Polly, oh please come quickly. What happened, dear? Tom is dying. Dying? No, I don't believe it. Oh Aunt Polly, there is no time for any kind of arguments. Please come and see. And so Aunt Polly, you know, she loved Tom from the bottom of her mind, and so she flew upstairs almost. Wonderful English. She flew upstairs means she rushed upstairs by crossing 2 to 3 steps of the stairs at a time. And then when she reached to Tom's side with Mary following closely her and asked, "What happened? Why are you groaning?" Then Tom said, "Oh, Aunt Polly, my sore toe is paining. Oh." The moment Aunt Polly heard it, she gave double reaction. She cried a little and laughed a little and sank into a chair. Can you guess why did she give two kind of reactions? She cried a little and she laughed a little. She cried a little. At first she laughed a little because she could understand what a childish prank Tom had made. Because Tom wanted to stay away from school, because he wanted to have some excuse. That's why he gave this kind of silly excuse that his sore toe is paining. And then she cried a little because she got shocked and she said, "Tom, I love you so much, but you break my heart. Anyway, your toe is paining, but thought that you were not going to die." And Tom was outwitted. Tom just could not understand, he could not apprehend that such the things might change in that way. And then the groans gradually ceased and the toe pain vanished. And then Tom said, "Oh, auntie, actually not the problem with my toe, but the problem is with my tooth. And one of my front teeth, how it aches, it is very loose. Oh, your tooth indeed. Mary, go and bring a piece of silk thread." And so Mary went downstairs and brought a piece of silk thread. When it was brought, and then Tom realized that he had been hit in his weakest wicket, and because it was now the time when Aunt Polly might extract the loose tooth. And so he began to say, "Oh, Aunt Polly, you need not pull it out. Actually, I don't want to not to go to school. I want to go to school. I don't want to stay back at home." And that means you can understand, this is how where we say Thakur ghare ke ami to kala khaini, like this. Tom himself said, "It's not that I don't want to go to school. I do want to go to school." Then Aunt Polly realized, oh, it means that all these excuses are for not going to school and go fishing. By this time, the dental instrument had been brought. The dental instrument means the piece of silk thread. So Aunt Polly tied one loose end around Tom's loose tooth, one end of the silk thread around Tom's loose tooth, and the other end with the bedpost. And then after some time, she gave a sudden thrust, and the very next moment, the loose tooth was dangling on the bedpost. So you can understand, in this way, Tom's loose tooth, the problem of loose tooth was remedied. His loose tooth was taken out. But that did not deter Tom to do his prank. And he now had a gap in the upper row of his teeth, but this enabled him to smile in a new and admirable way. He wanted to impress upon others that he had probably purposely done it because it gave him a new look, an altogether new look. He smiled in a new and admirable way. Okay. So that is the text. Not much message here, only the narrative has to be kept in mind properly. একটু ভালো করে টেক্সটটা পড়ে রাখলেই হবে। Okay, let me read it out for you. The text is an extract from Mark Twain's novel, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. The story is about the childhood pranks of a young boy who is looking for ways to avoid going to school but is caught in his own trap. Tom always found Monday mornings to be miserable. Monday began another week's slow suffering in school. Tom lay thinking. Presently he wished that he was sick. Then he could stay home from school. He investigated his body with the hope of finding some ailment. He thought that he had found symptoms of stomach trouble. He began to grow hopeful. However, the symptoms soon grew feeble and wholly went away. Tom thought further. Suddenly he discovered something. One of his upper front teeth was loose. He felt lucky. He was about to groan when it occurred to him that if Aunt Polly was to know, she would surely pull it out, and that would hurt. Tom thought he would hold the tooth in reserve for the present. He remembered hearing from a doctor that a certain ailment could lay up a patient for 3 days and make him lose a finger. He eagerly drew his sore toe from under the seat and held it up for inspection. He did not know the necessary symptoms. However, it seemed like a good chance. Tom fell to groaning, but his brother Sid slept on. Tom groaned louder. He fancied that he began to feel pain in the toe. No response came from Sid. Tom then started a succession of groans. However, Sid snored on. Tom became excited. He said, "Sid, Sid," and shook him. These courts worked well. Sid yawned, then raising himself on his elbow, stared at him. Tom went on groaning. Sid said, "Tom, say Tom." No response. "Here, Tom, Tom, what's the matter, Tom?" Sid shook him and looked in his face anxiously. Tom moaned on. Tom moaned out, "Oh, don't shake me." "Why, what's the matter, Tom?" "I must call Auntie." "No, never mind. It will be over by and by, maybe. Don't call anybody." "But I must." "Don't groan so, Tom. It's awful. How long have you been this way?" "Hours." "Ouch." "Oh, don't start so, Sid. You will kill me." "Oh, don't start so, Sid. You will kill me." "Tom, why didn't you wake me sooner?" "Oh, Tom, you aren't dying, are you?" "Don't, Tom. Oh, don't." "I forgive everybody, Sid. Tell them so." Sid had rushed to call help. Tom's imagination was working perfectly by now, and his groans had gathered a genuine tone. Meanwhile, Sid flew downstairs and said, "Oh, Aunt Polly, come, Tom is dying." "Dying?" "Yes, don't wait, come quick." "What rubbish, I don't believe it." She flew upstairs with Sid and Mary, Tom's cousin. Her face grew pale and her lips trembled. When she reached the bedside, she gasped out, "Tom, Tom, what's the matter with you?" "Oh, Auntie, What's the matter with you, child?" "Oh, Auntie, my toe is paining." The old lady sank into a chair. She laughed a little, then cried a little. Then she said, "Tom, what a shock you did give me. Now shut up the nonsense and get out of this." The groan ceased. The toe pain vanished. Tom felt a little foolish and said, "Aunt Polly, how my tooth aches. The pain is more than that in my toe." "Your tooth, indeed. What's the matter with your tooth?" "One of them is loose and it aches awfully." There, now don't begin that groaning again. Open your mouth. Your tooth is loose, but you are not going to die for that. Mary, get me a silk thread." Tom said, "Oh, please, Auntie, don't pull it out. It doesn't hurt anymore. Please, Auntie, I don't want to stay home from school." So, all this was because you wanted to stay home from school and go fishing. "Tom, Tom, I love you so much. And you try to break my heart in every way with your naughtiness." By this time, the dental instrument was ready. The old lady fastened one end of the silk thread to Tom's tooth and the other end to the bedpost. She pulled and the tooth hung dangling by the bedpost. Tom now had a gap in his upper row of teeth. This enabled him to smile in a new and admirable way. Okay, now let's do the exercises quickly. Take the correct answer from the given alternatives. MCQ. Hopefully all of you have understood the text. Tom felt miserable on the mornings of Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. The second option is correct, Monday. If Aunt Polly was to know that Tom had a loose tooth, she would call a doctor, bring him some medicine, surely pull it out, tell him to rest. Option C is correct, surely pull it out. Tom drew his sore toe from under the seat, blanket, pillow, mosquito net. Option A, seat. Then Sid flew down the stairs to call the doctor, Mary, the nurse, Aunt Polly. Option D, Aunt Polly. The thread that Mary got Aunt Polly was made of cotton, jute, silk, wool. Obviously, option C, silk. Then answer the following questions within 15 words each. Which one of Tom's tooth had come loose? So, one of the upper front teeth. One of the upper front teeth of Tom's jaw was loose. One of his upper front teeth was loose. Okay, one of the upper front teeth of Tom was or had come loose. How are Sid and Mary related to Tom? Sid is Tom's brother and Mary is Tom's cousin sister. Okay. Sid is Tom's brother and Mary is Tom's cousin sister. Why did Tom ask Sid not to star him? Tom asked Sid not to star him because he wanted to impress upon him that he was tremendously ill with his pain on the toe. He was going to die. If Sid would star him, that would only increase his pain. If Sid would star him, STIR star him, it would only increase his pain. Why did Tom pretend his toe was paining? Actually, Tom wanted to avoid to go to school and go for fishing. He wanted some genuine reasons to stay back at home instead of going to school. He had heard about a serious ailment from some doctor. He pretended that he was suffering from the same ailment on his toe. So, he pretended that his sore toe was paining. Again, Tom actually wanted to stay back at home and go fishing instead of going to school. He wanted some genuine reason of illness. Once he had heard a doctor to say that there is a kind of disease, a very dangerous disease, which keeps one in bed for 2 to 3 days and then makes him lose a finger. Tom pretended that he was suffering from the same problem, and so he pretended that his toe was paining. Then 25 words questions. SAQ. What did Tom remember hearing from a doctor? Tom remembered hearing from doctor that there is a kind of ailment which can lay up a patient for 3 days and make him lose a finger. Tom remembered hearing from a doctor that there is a kind of serious ailment which makes one lay up in bed for 3 days and then after that it will make him lose a finger. How did Aunt Polly react to the news that Tom was dying? Aunt Polly did not believe the news that Tom was dying. He rubbished the news given by Sid instantly. Rubbished. He rubbished the news given by Sid instantly. How was Tom's loose tooth taken out? After Mary had brought a piece of silk thread, one end of it was tied around Tom's loose tooth and the other end was tied around the bedpost. Then, with a single thrust given by Aunt Polly, Tom's loose tooth came out and lay dangling on the bedpost. Okay. Now, I would like to give you some more questions. Please take down the questions. What was the first idea of sickness came up to Tom's mind? What was the first idea of sickness came to Tom's mind? And why did Tom discard that? And why did Tom discard that? These are all 25 word questions. When did Tom feel himself lucky? When did Tom feel himself lucky? Why did Tom why did Tom want to hold the tooth? Why did Tom want to hold the tooth problem in reserve? Why did Tom want to hold the tooth problem in reserve? Then, when did Tom's groan begin to have some genuine tone? When did Tom's groan, GROAN, begin to have some genuine tone? Okay. Then, why did Aunt Polly laugh a little and also cry a little? Why did Aunt Polly laugh a little and also cry a little after hearing Tom's toe pain? After hearing about Tom's toe pain. Okay. So hopefully these are the questions. If you do them, that will do. Then let's do the grammar portion. Do as direct exercise 4. Rafiq was running fast. Change into an interrogative sentence. Was Rafiq running fast? Oh, sorry. Now, was not Rafiq running fast? Transformation of sentences. Without changing the meaning. Rafiq was running fast. Was not Rafiq running fast? Question mark. The boy would never forget the exciting incident. Change into an affirmative sentence. The boy would always remember the exciting incident. The boy would always remember the exciting incident. We had a wonderful time last evening. Change into an exclamatory sentence. What a wonderful time we had last evening. What a wonderful time, or what a time we had last evening, note of exclamation. He loves to play football. Change into an interrogative sentence. Does not he love to play football? Does not he love to play football? Rina tried all her plans. Change into a negative sentence. Rina did not leave any plan untried. Or Rina left no plan untried. Shut the door, Robin. Change into an assertive sentence. I want Robin to shut the door. I want Robin to shut the door. Okay, then exercise 5. Resolve her. The enemy surrendered without a fight. The enemy gave in without a fight. The child was cured. The underlining should be from was cured. The child was cured. The child came round in a month. The police investigated the case. The police looked into the case. Pooja could understand what her sister said. Pooja could make out what her sister said. The old man could not remember his childhood experiences. The old man could not call up his childhood experiences. Now, two writing exercises there. One writing exercise. Newspaper report on a road accident within 100 words. Use the following ends. Brake failure of a bus. Exercise 6. Brake failure of a bus collided with a truck. Injured, including a child and a woman. Injured sent to hospital. Released with first aid. Traffic disrupted. Police intervened. Normalcy restored. Okay. Give the title first. Okay. So keep the title first in all capital. Road accident injures mark with a straight underline. below it at the right hand portion by a now from the beginning you have to write mention the place Kolkata semicolon 05 June 20 and start writing from here with a colon dash. Start writing from here. The next line should come to the margin. Okay. The first one I will dictate and then you will do yourselves. Including a child and a woman were injured when a serious road accident took place at Goria crossing in South Kolkata early in the morning today. Okay, it is early in the morning today. It is reported that the accident was caused because there was a sudden brake failure of a bus and the bus collided with a truck which was coming from the opposite direction. As a result, 5 persons were injured. There were a child and a woman among the injured. They were immediately taken to a nearby hospital where all of them were released after first aid. The accident caused tremendous traffic congestion. The normal flow of the traffic was totally disrupted. Then the police intervened and normalcy was restored after about half an hour. Some senior police officials visited the spot and assured that traffic would be restricted and controlled properly in that accident-prone zone. Okay. This much. Hopefully you have done this. Tom loses a tooth. সো এই কোয়েশ্চেন আনসারগুলো করবে, যেগুলো কোয়েশ্চেন দিলাম ওগুলো করবে এবং আরও একটা দুটো লিখবে। তার মধ্যে আমি আরেকটা দিচ্ছি, লেখো a report on a boat mishap. You will invent information on your own. A report on a boat mishap, MISHAP, নৌকাডুবি নিয়ে একটা রিপোর্ট লিখবে। ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ।